Senator Bramble was a second sponsor, and we had conservative Utah candidate legislators that voted for it. Like my friend John Frugal Google voted in favor of this. We then went on to a vote of the public. 60% of the public, 70% of the public voted in favor of doing this. I'm a person who respects the vote. I respect due process, and I'm going to, if people want to have it, if they vote for it, I'm a person to make sure that it happens the best it can, right?
I think the BRT is not well designed. It's just a tax on us. One example that I'll share is the bus route from Provo to UBU to the, what is it called, the transit that's over here on the west side. I think that bill ended up costing about $65 million. And if you see, the projection was that I think it was roughly about 12,000 usage on a daily basis. And if you notice, there's only maybe 3 or 4 plus the bus driver. And so I think that our citizenry in our cities and our county is not to that level of that type of metropolitan transit systems. I think per capita it would be cheaper to have self-automobile usage than continue to impose this massive transit. Like, for example, we have another transit going all the way out to Payson that's also going to be putting us in the hole of expenses that is not necessary for transit that is really not going to be used. So that's my role.
Yeah, the bus rapid transit really comes back again to planning. I've seen it work better and work not so well. When a lane is not planned and it just eats up a traffic lane, then I think that that's counterproductive. But the point is that we need to plan for alternate transportation methods. Now, everybody that wants to drive their car needs to be able to drive their car. But we can only build so many roads, and those that want to take other means, we need to study this out and plan for it. Because if it doesn't compete with car, in other words, if it doesn't get there as fast or faster than your car, it's not going to work. It's really not about the price of the ticket. It's about how well it functions as a business model and getting people from A to B.
A good sign for a leader is someone who admits error and mistake, and that bus was a disaster. It takes up an entire lane, and guess what the price tag was? $190 million. We make a $3.5 million payment on it every November. UTA does pay us back for it, but that's money that we could have spent elsewhere. It also is funded by a quarter-cent sales tax increase. And somebody at this table is the only candidate who has lobbied for multiple quarter-cent sales tax increases, multiple times, and lobbies for the bus to be free every single time it's up for renewal. If it's so great, if it's so needed, why in the world is it free? They would pay $3 or $4 for it. I see 5 people on the bus every time I drive by. It's a disaster. Let's call it what it is.
I'd like to respond to that. There's a lot of numbers and statistics that are out there. The 830 route had 1,500 riders a day on it. When it went to BRTs, approaching 15,000 pre-COVID. When we looked at it, if you look at it, University Avenue and University Parkway are UDOT facilities. It's up to UDOT to determine what is the best alternative to congestion. UDOT said BRT. Like I said, we studied this a long time, and it's easy for somebody to come in the last few years and say, well, this or this or this. But it's a different thing when you go through it. I've got to stick to this. If you vote for something, I will make sure that it happens. I'm not the guy that's going to say, oh, I'm opposed to this. I'm opposed to this because you voted for it or whatever. You need to understand there was a whole lot of time done that, and there's only people that were here that were involved in it.
Okay, is there anyone else who